Hello everyone, my name is Edward and welcome to the very first official car review here on Ed's Auto Reviews. Now I know, my channel is named Ed's Auto Reviews, but the only videos I've done currently are videos about car history, photoshopping cars, and now I hear you ask, Edward, what are the actual car reviews? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. And I brought this, a 2001 Nissan Micra. In this review, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the Nissan Micra. I'm going to show you the interior, the exterior. We're also going to have a little drive. And mind you, the magic words in this review is going to be driving experience, as I, in this video, going to convince you why you should not need to buy a multi-million hypercar, let's say Bugatti Chiron, when really this is all you need. But first, let me give you a quick little tour around the car. As you can see, it has the oval shape, the bubbly shape of late 1990s, early 2000s, so it's quite an aerodynamic car. No hard edges to be found. I mean, it's all very nicely flowing. Overall, it reminds me a little bit of a penguin from Madagascar. It is cute and cuddly on the outside, but it's a real vicious killer on the inside. It has a racing history, and you can clearly see that by all the little scraps and dents, like this one here, and also this. You see this? Usually they have that patina, which is all fake. This is real patina, which once again shows its race history and its race pedigree. And if we come to the back, that kind of reminds me of a Toyota Starlet of similar vintage, with the tail lights that kind of flow away. As you can see, it has one reverse or backup light instead of two, which I kind of hate because of symmetry reasons. And overall, it kind of reminds me of a Mini Cooper. Just, you know, a high roof line, low belt line, and just tall windows. And if you think that this is a car, well, it's a racing car, but if you think that it also comes with a very bad fuel consumption or you know, harming the environment, that is not true. Because this really is a green car. I mean, the paint is green, I get it, but here, come here, look. It actually grows its own trees. I mean, how awesome is that? And so we're here at the front end of the car, and as you can see, this car doesn't come with one grille, no, it comes with a split grille, two of them. And that allows for maximum air intake. But let me ask you a question. Does your Bugatti Chiron come with a split grille? I mean, if I look at the photos, I don't see it. And we all know that in this day and age, more is always better. So what is better? A Bugatti or a Nissan? Now onto the engine of this car. This car is powered by a 1 liter, it's a 4-cylinder engine, meaning that it will run a little smoother. It runs on regular gas, not diesel, and it also doesn't have a turbo. What it does have, however, is dual overhead cam, and that also allows for 4 valves per cylinder, making it a 16 valve in total, just as the badge on the side of the car would show you. But these are all engine specs that you're not entirely interested in. What you want to know are the performance figures. Well, let me tell you, this beast of an engine, combined with the very low weight of this car, makes it an ultimate performance car, but this engine has an output of an earth-shattering, whopping 55 horsepower at God knows what RPM. What we also don't know is the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time in this car. And so that's what we're going to find out right now while we're going to put the little engine to the test. So, welcome to this demonstration. We're now going to see how long it's going to take for this car to reach 100 kilometers an hour. Here we go. There we go, 20, 30, come on, 40, come on! 60, 70, oh, that's this thing, oh, I'm growing a beard, 80, come on, oh my god, 90, come on, So, tell me, what was it?
37 seconds.
37 seconds! Oh man, well there you see it. 37 seconds to get here from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. One last important thing I want to talk about is the fuel economy. Although when you own a hypercar, fuel economy is none of your concerns, but this car is actually quite fuel efficient. The fuel consumption on this car is 6 liters of fuel on every 100 kilometers you drive. For a Bugatti, it's 22 liters for 100 kilometers. So if you like to drive like a maniac, like a lunatic, then you still drive fuel efficient. And you can't really say that of a Bugatti Chiron. So once again, my question is to you, what do you really want to buy? A Bugatti Chiron or a Nissan Micra? If we talk about fuel consumption. Well, that's what I thought. Now onto the interior, which is just as lightweight as this car is. What we see are the finest man-made premium plastic interior, along with a little bit of cloth. Also, with its high roof line and low belt line, the Nissan has a tremendous visibility. A type of visibility that you really won't find in a car such as a Bugatti Chiron. But the mirrors are manual. And that brings me to, well, your Bugatti. Everything is electric. But does it really bring you the driving joy? I mean, a man should love his vehicle for the way it is. That's why so many old men drive old cars, because it's still a car. Everything is mechanical. Just as with this Nissan Micra. It just, you know, you are literally, you can feel the car. And that's, you kind of miss that with a Bugatti. Do you know what you also wouldn't get in a Bugatti? 4 seats. Oh, and before I forget, I'm not talking about the interior, but have you seen this? Side skirts or side fenders for maximum safety, because although this car is full of dents and scraps and whatnot, it does protect you. It's just when you take a corner, I mean, who doesn't know that when he's driving like a lunatic? If you take a corner too tight, then you will eventually hit, I don't know, like one of those concrete poles right there. And if you have a multi-million hypercar, let's say Bugatti Chiron, then that will cost you a lot of money. But this, no. This one thought, you know what, we give it maximum safety by coming up with these plastic strips on the side. Now, one terrific and very rare feature of this car is a warning sound. And it's a warning sound that you don't get on all those cars. It's quite a rare option. It's a warning sound that warns you when you've reached the maximum turning radius of your steering wheel. Allow me to demonstrate, and listen closely. I mean, how awesome is that? Now that I've talked a little bit about the interior and exterior of this car, let's take it for a drive. Driving this car, I noticed 2 things. The steering and the shifter. It's a manual, which makes it instantly 200% extra more sporty. And the steering is rather heavy, actually. The fun thing is, when my parents bought it, they also looked at other car models such as Daihatsu Kuore. And that car didn't come with power steering. This one does, but you don't really notice that at all. The steering, like I said, is a little heavy, and sometimes I am surprised when I, for instance, leave a parking lot or parking space with reasonable speed so that I may need to make turning corrections. And then when I need to make the turning corrections, I remind myself that the steering is rather heavy and that I need to put a little more effort in it than usual. One special feature about this car is the radio. It does come with a radio, which really doesn't work. But then my question is to you, does it matter? Because I see the radio as what I like to call a triple D, a driver distracting device. It's just one of those devices that distract you from driving. I mean, when you drive, you need all your senses. You need your eyes to look on the road. You need your nose for smelling the fuel that you burn. And you also need your ears to listen to the wind and road noise this car gives you. And it's also part of the experience. You hear the engine, you hear the environment passing you by. You hear the guy behind you honking at you because you made a terrible, terrible traffic mistake. But you can't really hear that when you have the radio on. And that brings me to the next question. What is better if we talk about driving experience? A Nissan Micra, where the radio doesn't work, or a Bugatti Chiron, where you are safely trapped in a cocoon of multimedia and other driving distracting devices? Well, I know the answer. And then another thing. Because in this car, you really do need your ears. Why? Because this car doesn't come with a tachometer. It doesn't come with a rev counter. So you really need to use your ears. You need to listen to the engine so that you know when you need to shift gears. Because a real man listens to his machine when he's driving a car. And you can't really get that in a Bugatti. With its earth-shattering performance of 55 horsepower, that brings me to another point. You can drive this racing machine like an actual race driver. You can step on the gas, you can take those corners, but you can all do it within the traffic laws and limits. Because let's face it, I can press the gas pedal in this car for 15 seconds straight on the highway and not get over the speed limit. But let me ask you the same question once again. Can you do the same thing in the Bugatti? Can you press the gas pedal in the Bugatti for 15 seconds straight and not go over the speed limit? What's that? No? Well, there you go. That's what I thought. And all this that I just mentioned, the tremendous visibility, the excellent performance, you feel connected with your environment, the road noise, the wind noise this car brings, all that's the safety, the manual, you have to listen to your engine to shift, all that is just a driving experience that you don't get in a hypercar of today, where everything is done for you with launch control, electronic stability program and whatnot. This is it. And that for such a ridiculous price. I mean, I really know what I would buy if I were in the market for a unique driving experience. And that's it for today, folks. I think it's pretty clear. I think that I made a point that you should not need to buy a multi-million hypercar when that hypercar is in so many ways inferior to the driving experience and, among other qualities, of a Nissan Micra. And that you can buy a Nissan Micra like this one for, and I've calculated it, 0.0004% of the retail price of a Bugatti Chiron. That's what I thought. Thank you for watching. And remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you want more of this. And make sure that you follow me on Instagram. It's where I post cars that I found in the wild on the street, along with some interesting facts or a story, something like that. None of that promotional or irrelevant bullshit. So once again, thank you, and see you in the next video.